Hello everyone, Mike here with Hills and Haulers Homestead. It's been about a week since my last video. I do apologize for that, but I have been busy. Weather's afforded me a few days to stay outside and get some stuff done, and then we had some snow and pretty cold temps that let me do a couple things inside, and now today it's 60 degrees, so my 40-hour work week is over for my paying job, and now my real job goes through the weekend. So just wanting to touch base with everybody, just kind of encourage again good food prepping and everything like that, good water preps. Make sure that you're at least 3 months into it now. You should be, if you've started at any time during any of these videos that I've done with my encouragement, you should be well past 3 months. You know, we're kind of in that 8-month range. I'd like to be at about a year worth of food stores, and water's the one big thing I really want to look at. I'm kind of torn on a couple different ways. I have a couple filtration, alternate filtration systems, but I really don't have big water storage per se. And I don't want to look at getting a 4,000 gallon tank put in my house or anything like that. But I do want to look at alternative water storages. And I looked at like the things they call them water bricks, and then like just the big 5-gallon bulky jugs. And I'm not sure if I want to do that yet or not either. So I'm gonna look at some alternatives for that. Solar is a big thing I'm keeping on the big want sheet here, the want list, and I want to do that for my outbuilding because I haven't run electric to it. We have a ground transformer up here because all of our electric and utilities are all underground, and we did that. That was the one thing that we insisted on when we built our home. So our sweat equity into this was we installed our own utilities and everything. So I think it was like 3,500 feet of trenches I dug with a trenching machine. So, I think it was underground 650 feet of electric, 700 feet of electric, 900 feet of water, 1,770 feet, 1,770 feet of natural gas line. So, we made it a priority to get our utilities underground, and that's just because I really didn't want to cut a 60-foot swath of trees all the way up to here where the house is. But the outbuilding come later on, and I didn't go yet and run electric to it because in the future there's going to be a garage put out there and everything else. So I thought, yeah, I'm just going to kind of hold off and do all the big stuff at once like that. But then I started looking at the cost and weighing the cost of that, and I'm going, you know what, it might be better. And sorry if you hear heavy breathing and panting, that's my big knucklehead and my little knucklehead sitting right there. She's just the little one. She's the smaller of the two. She's 75, he's 95 pounds, so he's a big old goofball. Jethro, more Bodine than Gibbs, aren't you? So I want to look at, and I'm learning a little bit. Like I said, I've watched a few videos on it, and I don't just watch a video and jump into something. Hey, so I'm looking at it, and I want to look at probably 3 or 4 panels. Hey, go play somewhere else. So I want to look at like 3 or 4 panels, probably 340, 400 watt panels. Then you got your charge controller, your inverter, your batteries, and everything to go along with that. And I want to put those on my outbuilding. They sound like they're going to tear each other up, and honestly, they're just playing. But I want to put those on my outbuilding in lieu of running underground electric all the way up. Hey! They're worse than kids, honest to goodness. Wait till you get on the phone and they make all the noise. Okay, go heavy breather. Go on. Go on, go. That doesn't mean attack me, you peckerhead. All right. All right, go play. Get attacked here. So anyways, back to the solar on my outbuilding. That's why I want to do that, is because if I put the solar on the outbuilding, I don't have to worry about... All right, I'm going to go for a walk. So if I put the solar on my outbuilding, then my outbuilding is its own standalone power. You know what I mean? The solar creates my own standalone power. I don't have to dig 300 feet of trench and run a bunch of underground conduit and all that expense, and then have them come and do all this and, put a meter up. And no, I don't want to do all that. So probably equal cost, maybe even a little bit less, would be a small solar system to where I can run little power tools and things like that in the building as needed and have lighting. But the big thing for that is even though we have a natural gas home standby generator, and the electric goes off, we've got that security. But if, we're looking at a big prolonged event, eventually natural gas goes out, then all of our cold stores, cold food, we've lost now, unless we have a backup for our backup. And solar is one of those options. So I can run extension cords down from the building, from the solar, to umbilical my freezers and refrigerators in off of that. So that's why I want to get a big enough system that I can DIY myself, do it yourself type of thing I can install. And I don't have all that added expense of, installation and paying somebody else to do this and do that. So I got to figure out, what my 2 refrigerator freezers, stand-up freezer, and chest freezer, and I think they all run about 1200 watts. I think is what they run on. So you got to there's a formula you got to figure out for all that to know how much, how many volts you need, how many watt hours you can provide, and how much battery you need for your, amperes and stuff like that. So there's a whole lot of it I got to learn. But anyways, I want to do that in lieu of running standard, on-grid electric all the way up there with that expense. I'd much rather put the expense in something that is off the grid. And the same when we do build our garage later on, is I would do the same thing with it, is I would add a solar system to it, just a small enough to run or big enough to run everything that I would have in my garage. So, and in the long run, solar does increase your the value of your home and everything like that, and the value of your property. And a lot of folks, solar and this and that, solar. Hey, it is our responsibility to take care of the planet. It truly is. So being a little bit more conservative and being a little bit more eco-friendly and being less dependent on the corporate everything, yeah, I'm all about that. So those are projects in the future, and we'll hope we'll be able to get that going hopefully next year, hopefully in 2022. We're just going to have to kind of see how things are going. Costs with solar are up a little bit, but until I can figure out exactly everything that I need, even for the outbuilding, I may even go with used solar panels, and you can buy them at discounted rates. And a lot of those, from everything that I've read and watched, are just as efficient used as they are new, because they've got, I think they drop down to like 80% efficiency after 10 years, somewhere along that line. And most of them do have a 25-year, lifespan on them. So we'll just see. Like I said, those are just things I want to look at. But again, food stores, we are, I got one deer this past deer season. I got it made into breakfast sausage night before last, and got it all packaged up. And then, of course, I kept the back straps and the tenderloins. And then last night I did 25 pounds of breakfast sausage, and then last night I did 25 pounds of Italian sausage with the deer. And I got to get it into casings tonight. So, hopefully we're in an extended deer season right now where it's doe season, and it's supposed to be 70 degrees and rain all day tomorrow. So I very seriously doubt I'll go out hunting in the morning if it's going to be like that. But we do have Sunday hunting here, and Sunday looks like a better day, so I may go out Sunday morning and hopefully get another deer with that. And then that's another deer we can do. And I would do mostly all probably do jerky with most of it. I'll keep the back straps and the tenderloins, but probably do jerky with most of it. Maybe can a few pints with that, a few quarts, whatever we have. And then hopefully the opportunity at the end of the month with another little extended deer season, I can get a third deer. So there's always that. I'm always thinking, what can I do? What can I put away and everything put aside? And that's always a good opportunity with deer season and stuff. So because it's good meat, it's healthy, and it's reliable. So you know what I mean? There's plenty of deer around here. Just a weird season this year. And of course, like I said, here it is December, and it's 60 degrees. It's supposed to be 70 tomorrow. So anyways, prepping. Are we crazy? Well, it just depends on your perspective. If I got a 6x8 pantry completely full of shelf-stable foods and dry stores and water and everything else, and water's another thing, water storage, but I need to look into that more. But if I've got a year's worth of food put away, if I got a year's worth of food put away and nothing happens, I've still got a year's worth of food put away, and I can always just eat it. If I do nothing and something happens and I don't have food put away, I'm stuck with what I have in my home until it either A, goes bad, or B, it's gone. and I can't replenish my stock. And that's when there's going to be problems, because if I can't replenish what I don't have, then I don't have it, and I'm not going to be able to get it. So what I'm saying is if something would happen, you know, and anymore, it's not if, it's just when something is going to happen. I mean, you guys ever think you're going to live through a pandemic, a freaking global pandemic? And they're so wishy-washy now with the variants, they don't know what the hell's going on from one minute to the next. And, you know, what they're going to do, more lockdowns, more mask mandates. Austria is mandating their citizens, you know, employed or not, they're mandating their citizens 14 years of age and older, you're getting the vaccinations whether you like it or not. And if you don't, you're being fined and you're being made to stay in your homes. You tell me. And we ain't too far behind, you know, the European socialist movement there. All you got to do is look at our central banking system and our money system and our economy, and you'll know what I mean by that. So, you know, just that alone with the current pandemic, with them not knowing from one thing to the next what the next variant's going to do, and with, you know, the lockdowns, and now this mandate, now that mandate, and what was it, in October, another 4.5 million people freaking walked off the job. Something happens, and now nobody can get to Walmart, or Walmart ain't got no food, or Safeway, or Piggly Wiggly, or Winn-Dixie, or Giant Eagle, or whatever store you have, Publix, or whatever that you have in your area. Their shelves are bare and empty. What are you going to do? I'm going to the pantry. You know, and I got kids. I mean, you know, everybody out there who's got kids, if anything, if you're going to do any kind of preparedness or even emergency preparedness, think of them. Do it for them. You know what I mean? You can sit there and make yourself feel dumb about yourself later on, but, you know, something happens, you'd be awful thankful that you decided, well, I did this for my kids, and now your kids aren't going hungry. Because I'm going to tell you, you know, I'm type person, you know, I take care of people as much as I can, but when it comes down to that, I'm not taking food out of my kid's mouth for years. I'm just not going to do it. And, you know, that's my advice. There, you want my help? There's my help. It is my advice. Put at least 3 months of food away. And like I said in previous videos, if you're not at 3 months, you should be at 3 months, at least. I mean, I'm shooting for a year. So, you know, we still got more to do and more to work on. And I got plenty of projects to do inside to help improve the space that we have, make it more usable to get a year's worth of food in there. But, you know, if you've got kids and loved ones that you care about, do it. Do 3 months worth. And then just put it aside and, you know, be done with it. 3 months, 3 months is safe. For me, like I said, I'm always more is better. So I'll do a year. And if I do a year, then after that, all I got to do is just rotate my stock so it doesn't go bad, you know, doesn't go out. You know, I can use my canned goods after a few years. I can use, you know, the pasta that I've got dry stored. I can start using a little bit of the rice or the couple of the beans here and there, and I can replenish them, replace them as I use them and stuff, and just keep that stock fresh. All of that stuff is vacuum sealed. If it's not vacuum sealed or pressure canned, it's got oxygen absorbers in it. Dry stores are typically not going to go bad. So your beans, your rice, your pastas, you know, things like that, even those potato flakes we did in the video where we vacuum sealed them, they're not going to go bad. We don't have to rotate those. As long as they stay sealed, they're not going to go bad. And the risk of them not being sealed or you know, something happening to them, I don't see it happening. I mean, there's just no reason why it wouldn't work. But I guess for cold stores, refrigerator, freezer stuff, that's why I want to look at solar, because I want to have that backup. And that's just something, I mean, honest to goodness, I just, this world today anymore, folks, if you don't think that things are terrible out there, you're asleep under a rock somewhere, because things are freaking terrible and they get worse all the time. You know, we have the constant threat of, you know, with Russia and China now, constant threat of malware and cyber attacks. I mean, they're freaking, I don't know, how many times in the last 2 years have they had like attempted cyber attacks on freaking water treatment facilities in the US from foreign entities, you know, trying to alter the mixtures of chemicals to make it more toxic, or do this or do that, or just render it pretty much useless. Hey, if you turn your water on and water comes on, but you can't drink it because it's contaminated or toxic, now water ain't going to do you no good at all, because if you can't drink it, you don't want it on your skin. You don't want to cook with it. So, you know, alternate forms of water. Have water stores put aside. Have, you know, filtration and sterilization systems aside. You can do reverse osmosis is probably your better bet. because with reverse osmosis, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on these, there's little hand filters, hand pump filters that do reverse osmosis, and they will remove the chemicals, and even in the event of nuclear radiation, they'll remove the radiation to make it safe. Now there's other ways, and I completely forgot about the soil filter, but you can soil filter water, and it was mentioned. I didn't review it. It sparked my memory, but I didn't review it. But you can actually make your own filtration system to decontaminate water that's been contaminated with radioactive fallout. And it's called a soil filter. And I think it's a 4 or 5 layer filter, and I can't remember what it is exactly, but it's something that you can pretty much do with everything around here, like grass and gravel and sand and you know, charcoal and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, so there are ways. And like I said, it doesn't take much. You can get one of those reverse osmosis hand pump filters for like 50, 60 bucks on Amazon. And they'll do 10,000 liters of water. Buy everybody in your family one. There's a Christmas gift. And, you know, they may think you're crazy. Encourage people to prep. Encourage your family to prep. Put food away, folks. I mean, honest to God, you know, put some dry stores away. Don't depend on rice and beans alone. Look at other alternatives in canned goods, but put food away. Have that security and that safety there, because I'm going to tell you something. If you wake up in the morning and the electric is off and your water's off, or your water's contaminated, or there's been some major event, everybody is running to the store. Everybody is running to the store. And those shelves are going to empty very quickly, because everything that's on them shelves that can be consumed or drank is coming off of them shelves rapidly. And you may be there in time, you may not be there in time. You may get beat and trampled, or even shot and stabbed in the process, or you may be one of the lucky ones and get out. You guys know as well as I do, people riot, loot, kill, and beat people over freaking tennis shoes with civil unrest. You wait and see what happens when there's a food shortage, or the threat of a food shortage, and you see what happens. So crime is rising in America. What is it? Was it 6 or 12 of the major cities in the U.S. are at historic homicide rates already before the end of 2021. Crime has risen exponentially. And I've said from day one, from video number one, the biggest threat we face, regardless of the situation, is going to be the people. So have those food stores. Don't tell people about it. Hey, I'm prepping, man. You want to join me? Hey, let's prep. You want to do that with your close friends? Get a little network going. You don't want to be a lone wolf if you don't have to. But do that and get your food stores put away. The other thing about that is I've started making some new contacts on YouTube, with the YouTube channel, interacting with others on other channels. And I'm one of these people, and I've said before, I have a very small circle of friends. And at my age and my experience with society and everything like that, I'm just leery of letting new people in. You know what I mean? There's a trust issue there, and it's not saying that they're bad people or you're a bad person, but I have a big, thick, heavy wall up in place, okay? And I do that because, you know, I just have trust issues with people, and the reasons for that are 30 years of dealing with the public. So, you know, don't get mad at me if you're a new subscriber to the channel and stuff like that, and hey, why don't you message me, do this? Give me time. Let me learn a little bit more about you. Let me watch your channels, your videos, and things like that, or whatever, and get to know you a little bit before I invite you to my sanctuary. Or before I let you know more of my own network and stuff. But, you know, I don't want to be a lone wolf, and I'm not going to be a lone wolf. But like I said, I have friends who know that if the shit hits the fan, they're going to get to here. And they're bringing their stores with them, getting to here, and this is going to be our stronghold if need be. So there is protection and strength in numbers, and that's, you know, living rurally, that's always the better part of it too. So that's it, folks. I just want to really highly encourage everybody. Like I said, it's just not getting any better. And I'm going to tell you, let's just review a couple things here. 2020, I can't wait for it to end. You know, 2021's got to be a better year. Guess what? 2021, yeah, they didn't even take you out to dinner, buddy. 2022 ain't going to be no better. COVID is here. It is endemic. It's always going to be here with us, okay? Now, to this level, no. How long it's going to take to get to a normal, you know, or what they would consider an endemic level where we're not wearing masks, we're not quarantining, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. Who knows? Okay. Other than that, all I can tell you is prepare for the worst, hope and pray for the best. Get your food stores put away. You should be at 3 months now. If you're not at 3 months, you got 3 months worth of catching up to do. Don't go into debt. Don't get, go blowing all that money on on a credit card and stuff like that. But get your food stores built up, non-perishable, shelf stable. Get you a vacuum sealer if you don't have a vacuum sealer, things like that. YouTube, get on YouTube, reference a lot of these videos, use a lot of this stuff. There's so many channels out there dedicated to this kind of lifestyle and this kind of management and preparedness, and use those as good resources. Folks, it's going to be it for this evening. I'm going to go in and I'm going to start stuffing my hot Italian venison sausage into casings, and look forward to having some of that for breakfast in the morning. So take care. God bless. Please give us a like, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment, tell us what you think. I'm still having trouble with comments for some reason. I've done everything that YouTube's told me to do. I still can't see comments. I'm still trying to figure that out. So if I don't interact with or answer your comments and stuff like that, I do apologize. But we'll work on it. In the meantime, stay safe and God bless.